Okay. That's a genuine surprise top.
I was thinking of, and this was the first one that popped into my head. When I was thinking my favorite and the best animated films.
Okay.
Welcome back to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches, where we don't clickbait very often, but we've never been above it. On a completely unrelated note, this is the top 10 best animated films of all time. Please note that this video is just our opinions, and because they are in a video format on the internet, that automatically makes them better than yours.
Ouch.
Wait for it. Okay. Now that all the people who are going to complain no matter what we said are down in the comments
Okay.
and not paying attention anymore, we can actually get started.
Oh, very good. Okay. I did not see that one coming at all.
But as I said, this is a top 10 list. The first time we've done a top 10 list on this channel.
It is the first.
Trying something new. And maybe even a little clickbaity even. Who knows? We'll find out.
We'll see.
We'll see. But we have each chosen 5 animated films based on different criteria.
That we have not discussed.
We have not discussed it all.
In advance.
We have not. So I think you're going to surprise me with a few, and I might surprise you with a few back.
Okay.
So this will be a fun one. So would you like to go 1-1?
No, give me your criteria. Give me your 5. Let's see what you've got.
So as I was sitting and thinking about my top 5 animated films, all right, I was thinking of all the animated films that I've watched in my life, and I was thinking, okay, so there are certain films that are just objectively good films.
Okay.
All right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're my favorite. There are certain films that I can say are objectively worse than others, but I just enjoyed way more. I also took a look at the animation quality because, let's be honest, it's an animated film. It's kind of important that if we're talking about the best, that they need to be good quality animation. And then I thought about just general, is the story good? Are the characters entertaining? The standard stuff that we do. So I compiled all of them into a few of these. So coming in at my number 5, I wanted to go off the general train, because when you think animated films, you think like Disney, you think Pixar. A lot of people will also come to like DreamWorks as the other big animation titan.
Right.
Illumination is kind of getting there now, but yeah. But DreamWorks has a few good animated films in there. I've heard Prince of Egypt is really good, although I've never seen it.
Right.
I have never been a fan of Shrek. Controversial opinion. I've never been a fan of Shrek. But you know what I was a fan of, in all honesty, was the original Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your number 5?
That is going to be my number 5. I just think that the concept is fun. It's a good kids film. There's nothing offensive about it in terms of like, it doesn't talk down to its audience. It doesn't dumb it down for the kids. There's some stupid jokes that everyone can enjoy, and some really fun martial arts action. Okay. And Jackie Chan playing a kung fu monkey, which was hilarious. I love that. And Jack Black as a panda that does kung fu. So fun. It was fun. I enjoyed that. So that's my number 5.
That's a surprise, but all right, I like it.
Well, if that was a surprise, this one's coming completely out of left field. Kind of. One Piece film Red.
What?
I knew that was coming. So, for the uninitiated, One Piece is a animanga series, meaning it is a manga and anime from Japan by a man named Eiichiro Oda. It is a story about pirates searching for a legendary treasure called the One Piece. And in true anime fashion, they're all goofy. They have ridiculous superpowers.
Okay.
And a whole host of different abilities. It is currently the longest running manga by a single author. And this will come as a complete shock to you. Because manga are considered comic books, they are done in the comic book style of panels and thought bubbles and bam, boom, pow sound effects. One Piece is the second best-selling comic book in the world, above Batman and behind Superman.
Really?
Yes.
So, we've just solved the argument. Superman is better than Batman.
And well, One Piece is sitting at around 400 plus issues sold. And mind you, this is all one series, one storyline.
Okay.
They're counting Batman and Superman since they started publication.
Wow.
That's how much this is sold.
Okay.
So One Piece Film Red was the newest film that came out last year. It's 2023 now. It came out in 2022 and is I don't remember which number in the film, like which one it was, but it was celebrating the 25th anniversary of the series. And I'll be honest, it's literally just films that are not even canon to the story, but they are made for the fans. They're just a showcase where all your favorite characters get to interact with each other and punch fight some massive, super overpowered bad guy, and they get to show off the animation budget, and it's really smooth and a lot of particle effects, and my wife loved it because the main villain, spoiler, of the film was this like Japanese idol girl who had magic singing superpowers, and the soundtrack was kind of good. It's really weird. Yeah.
Magic singing superpowers.
Yes.
I'm going to shatter you with a high C.
If I took the time to delve into it, it would take so much longer.
Please don't.
But
I'll trust you.
One Piece Film Red, it was just big. I went to it on one of the opening nights. There's a lot of fans there. It was like going to a mini anime convention where everyone was in the mood. It's like going to like Star Wars or Avengers the night of. Everyone's in cosplay and everyone's just
a big Rocky Horror Picture Show event.
It was a good vibe, you know? It was just great. Yeah. So, a little bit of personal bias there.
All right.
I'll get back on track. In my third place, I will be putting Monsters Incorporated.
Okay.
Monsters Incorporated because, you know, as I said earlier, Disney, Pixar,
right,
kind of the go-to for animation. And I would admit that Inside Out and Incredibles are probably the better films, but I remember watching Monsters, Inc. a lot as a kid. I remember really enjoying Monsters, Inc. as a kid. So, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking objectively, and then I was thinking, oh, but it's my favorite. So it has to be Monsters Incorporated.
Okay.
Out of all the Pixar library. I'm gonna put Monsters Inc. up there. Plus, it does have a good story. Sully and Boo are a great pair.
They are a great
in
pair.
Monsters Incorporated.
Yes.
So it was just a great film. Another trip down memory lane. The other one. This is hopping over to the Disney side of the Disney Pixar.
Okay.
Probably my favorite classic animated Disney film is Disney's Robin Hood.
Yeah. Now there is one from my childhood that I just absolutely loved. That's a movie that I really looked forward to showing you when when you were a kid.
It's a fantastic one. I mean, that one, if you aren't sucked in by the rooster in the beginning, just singing and whistling along, that song alone is just permanently ingrained in so many people's minds.
Right.
Like, I could play a GIF of it right here. All right, like right here.
Okay.
I'm playing it now.
Right.
And they are thinking of the song.
Right.
Don't you lie.
Yep, I got it.
It's just a great swashbuckling, family-friendly action flick that tells a Robin Hood story.
I saw it in theater. I saw it at the Logan Theater.
I don't even remember.
I remember the theater.
Wow.
The Logan Theater on Milwaukee Avenue, and it was right near what was the name of that pizza parlor? There's a huge pizza parlor across the street that was really good. Yeah. That's my childhood. Okay.
All right. Well, and then I'm gonna put the number one in this regard. So hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. Okay. And one that I absolutely love, and yes, it is an animated film. There is animation, so it is a therefore animated film because of all the work that went into it. I have to preface this because I feel like I'm going to have to defend this. Maybe not from you, maybe from them. I don't know. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Okay. That's a genuine surprise top.
I was thinking of, and this was the first one that popped into my head. When I was thinking my favorite and the best animated films,
okay,
and Roger Rabbit popped into my head. Because the complexity of animating a character over a pre-existing live action scene,
yes,
and having it interact with it,
yes,
on both levels, is just genius and something that may never truly be done again. I know they did a Chip and Dale kind of, it was a spiritual successor type thing. It's on Disney Plus. It was okay. It was the same type of concept. All these cartoons, classic cartoons are interacting in the real world. They're all real people. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It was genius. It was absolutely genius. You brought together the two biggest animation studios at the time. You got them on an even playing field.
That was remarkable.
You got Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny parachuting and interacting. You got Donald and Daffy Duck dueling pianos.
Yep.
Roger is a great character.
Yep.
And the detective's great, and just the guns with the bullets that are probably insensitive and not up to standard.
Oh,
the six shooter
Indian
cowboy. But fantastic movie. In an era, because I honestly don't believe that the animators who were thinking of those bullets meant to offend anyone. So when that bullet does the Indian war cry and pulls out a massive tomahawk, that's just funny. It's just funny. It's just funny because it's like, how would you make a cartoon bullet funny?
Right.
That's one way of doing it. But yeah, just Roger Rabbit. Absolutely fantastic.
So it's kind of interesting. One, we have
and I forgot to mention Christopher Lloyd as the villain. I just love Christopher Lloyd and anything he does. He's a great actor.
He's talented. He is very talented.
Okay, I'm done. Those are my top 5 animated films.
So just out of curiosity, your criteria for choosing.
My personal preference. What do I enjoy?
Right.
Okay. How much did I enjoy it? Okay. Right. As opposed to how objectively good it is.
Okay.
Okay. So how much I enjoyed it, the animation quality, so the fluidity of the animation, how good did it look overall? The story, for some of these.
Right.
And mind you, some of these were just like One Piece is my personal opinion. Kung Fu Panda is good animation, has a decent story.
Okay.
It's objectively a good family film. Monsters Inc. is absolutely fantastic. But I also watched it a lot as a kid. Same with Disney's Robin Hood.
Sure.
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm like, this is a technical marvel with a great story.
Didn't you tell me just recently that I scarred you? I remember the first time I showed you Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You did not like it.
Oh, I didn't like it because of the shoe getting dipped into the dip.
Oh,
was terrifying. Well, that was terrifying a little bit, but the scene that got me as a kid, because I first watched this when I was 4, 5, 6, something like that. I was really young. It was okay. Was Christopher Lloyd turning around and having the toon eyes?
Oh, yeah.
That was freaky.
Yeah.
But going back to it when I was older, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. This is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my early parenting fails, showing that to you when too young of an age. But clearly I didn't do any damage, so, we'll call it good. We have no overlaps. We have no...
I'm really glad because we did do this blind. I haven't seen his list. He didn't see my list.
Oh, yeah, I've been writing your list down here, just kind of amused, as we go through here.
No overlap? Okay.
We have no overlap, and mine is far more... actually, I'm just wondering, did you see my list at all?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
What would be
There's a mic blocking.
What would be your prediction for my list?
Okay, if Incredibles is not on there,
okay,
I don't know what is. If
okay.
Incredibles or Incredibles 2 is not on that list, I don't know what will be.
Okay. Anything else? See, I think I'm completely predictable. And if anybody can predict my list, it would either be Noah or his mother. Although
I'm back to Robin Hood.
She cheated because we talked about it last night a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had
Go
to
for
balance
because I'm having a mental blank.
First of all, I did not consider any of the real action animated combinations. So I didn't consider Mary Poppins, which has absolutely fantastic, right?
Okay.
And
that didn't even occur to me, even though I was thinking Roger Rabbit.
There is a movie where Gene Kelly dances with Jerry Mouse. It is one of my all-time favorite dance sequences that I've ever seen, and I absolutely love it.
Like Jerry
the Mouse animated?
Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
With Gene Kelly.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
What? Where is this? I need to see this.
We can find it on YouTube when we're done here. Oh, yeah. It's
I didn't know this. I love Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
I hate the movies, though. But the original show is fantastic.
The old cartoons.
Oh, so good.
Oh,
That's a classic.
Yeah. So I didn't consider any of those, and your knowledge of animated movies is larger than mine. So I'm picking from Disney and Pixar.
Yeah.
And when we talked about I asked you the question via text message to, does Pixar count? And you said yes. And so here's the reason why I asked. I have a hard time viewing Pixar's animation.
Okay.
I have a hard time viewing
fair.
Ants and a lot of the modern animated movies as animation because it doesn't have, and this is not a criticism of the people who do this for a living, it doesn't have the artistry of the hand-drawn animated movies.
Okay.
It just
like the natural, like actually sitting down and drawing it out. That type of artistry.
Yes.
Okay.
The artistry that you find in all of the early Disney movies, it just doesn't.
Okay.
And it's not saying that it's bad.
Yeah.
But there's magic there that is just it's just incredible.
Yeah. Like because with Monsters Incorporated, like you can see all of Sully's hair.
Right.
Like when he moves.
Right.
And it's so fluid.
It is. It's
so
incredible.
Good. That's why I personally do, because I know how I know that's going to take work, and I know that there is
a ton of work.
That's why I appreciate it.
I do
as its own type of animation,
right?
Not to detract from hand-drawn animation.
Okay, so
I consider them two separate.
Two of those movies are on my list.
Okay.
But because of the quality of the story.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the quality of the story. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, I did not think of Monsters, Inc., but working from the bottom up, number 5, The Incredibles 1 and 2.
Oh, we
got
a tie.
Oh, yeah. Incredibles 1 and 2, because you can't take one over the other.
Future me, go back and scratch out the original splash art and then change it to a crossed out 10 with an 11. Thank you. Love you, future me.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
You could decide between the two.
Well, just because you can't separate them. They're we had a conversation. Is Incredibles 2 the perfect sequel? And it's so close to being the perfect sequel that it's really they're tied. They're in one slot together.
Okay. I respect that.
And
I respect that position.
While it,
but I was also right. So,
while I don't think the computer animated movies are quite the same level of artistry. The story makes up for it, and what it's probably started with Toy Story and then just continued on, is that there's some tremendous voice acting taking place in these movies across the board, and the voice acting is better because the stories are better than what are going to be my top 3 movies.
Okay.
But my top 3 movies are all hand-drawn animation.
Okay.
And there's just different reasons why I like them.
Okay.
So, Inside Out is number 4. I'm not going to talk about Inside Out because I don't want to cry. Oh, that movie. Oh, my goodness, that movie. Oh,
Go watch.
Go watch. Oh, man. Inside Out just destroyed me. What an incredible story. Wonderful acting. So, yeah, that has to be on there just for story. Number 3, The Jungle Book.
Okay. I was thinking about... I was running through. That one had completely slipped my mind when you were talking about the more classic Disney stuff. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then, no, Jungle Book makes sense.
So, the music of Richard and Robert Sherman. Right. Absolutely incredible music. Okay. Phil Harris's Baloo the Bear is hysterical. And when you find out when he was in studio recording the King Louis song, and it was supposed to be a repeat back. All right, King Louis would sing a line he would sing the same line back. Yeah. But instead of doing it, he went completely off script and came up with his own scat. He ad-libbed, right? So what ended up happening was it brought the recording to a halt because people were laughing so hard they couldn't continue. And they realized they had something. So Phil Harris ad-libbed all of that, right?
That soundtrack is a killer soundtrack.
It is, yeah.
That is fantastic.
And Louis Prima as the king of the jungle. I mean, it just absolutely introduced me to a whole new world of music because of his big band work in the Fruit Song, which is absolutely hysterical.
Real quick, can I make a side note?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to splash something up here. I don't remember what it's called, but there was and I don't remember the guy's name, but there was an animator for Disney. Okay, and if you were thinking of Jungle Book, when Shere Khan is in one of his little monologues, he is shaking his head with pride and he's speaking at the same time.
Right.
I don't know what the technique is called, but it's named after the animator who animated it because he put it in Robin Hood, in the Jungle Book, in I think Winnie the Pooh. Tigger does it too, and it's a specific technique for drawing that specific motion where they're shaking their head up and talking and keeping it what's the word? It all works. It doesn't look disjointed.
Right.
Apparently is super difficult to make the mouth move in tandem with what the words are supposed to be and keep the animation moving like that. And apparently it's super difficult, and he pioneered this technique.
Nowadays, if you wanted to do that, you put a mocap suit on, and a computer would grab all of this, and here's an individual who did it with pencil and paper. Yep. I mean, you just... It's head and shoulders above.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh, it's just so good. It's so good, and I love the sketch when you get the little heavy pencil lead sketch over in some of the scenes where it's Baloo is strutting, and then in one frame half his back is heavier. Right. Yeah, it's just details.
I grew up with the Jungle Book LP. The album, the music soundtrack, and we used to put it on a record player and play it all day long when I was a kid. It was just, so I grew up with those songs. It's absolutely wonderful. I could start singing them. I won't. Winnie the Pooh comes in number 2 for me.
Okay. That is one that did occur to me as I was thinking about it.
Winnie the Pooh is just gentle. Mm-hmm. It's not.
I was right
sweet.
To bring Tigger.
You were. In fact, when we first started filming, I glanced back to see what you put up there, and because I didn't even think about what would go on the shelf. But when I saw that, I was very happy. Not Winnie the Pooh for a variety of different reasons, but it is a sweet, gentle story. There's only one part of the movie that I'm not particularly fond of, and it's that whole nightmare ghost sequence.
The acid trip.
Yeah.
Heffalumps and woozles.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The acid trip.
I'm not particularly fond of that, but the movie is just, it's wonderful, it's sweet, it's fun, and it's one that you don't have to think twice. You just pop it on and let a young child watch it and enjoy it. You know.
Oh yeah.
Great babysitter for you, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, and kids love it to this day. Like. You know,
Oh yeah.
It just works.
It does.
It works.
And then the number one movie for me.
Okay.
And this was hands down first one that came to mind because I worked from the top down. First one that came to mind, Snow White.
All right.
Snow White. Now, Snow White, the story, it's kind of bland and boring ultimately. I'm not particularly thrilled about the Snow White story. It's a combination of the artistry, which is hands down just one of the finest pieces of animated work ever.
Yeah.
And I love the dwarfs. Absolutely.
And you brought that.
I brought this down because Grumpy is my spirit animal. I saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for the first time as an adult. I never saw it as a kid because
it came out in oh geez, I don't even remember now.
So Disney,
long time ago.
Disney,
30s?
It's 30s or 40s or something.
40s. Yeah, I think it was the 40s. Right
Every
before World War II.
7 years or so, Disney would take an old movie and rerun it in the theaters. But I never saw Snow White in the theater, and so I didn't actually see it until it came out on VHS tape. And I sat down as an adult, and I got to the part where we meet the Seven Dwarfs, and I was like, "Oh, this is incredible!"
Yeah.
And then the best part of this mug. Right here. I just love Grumpy. I just love Grumpy. He is absolutely fantastic. And so, story-wise, Snow White, Winnie the Pooh, and the Jungle Book don't have the same depth of writing as Inside Out and The Incredibles.
No.
Right? And so, but it's a combination of personal experience. It's a combination, like you said, it's opinion.
Yep.
The craft that goes into that animation, and I would give honorable mentions to, and it's going to be one from each one. Ants. I loved the story Ants.
I don't know if I've seen this.
I believe it's a DreamWorks.
Was it their response to Bug's Life?
I have no idea.
Probably.
Okay. And then Fantasia 2.
Fantasia 2000.
Yeah. Fantasia 2000. So Fantasia 2000, Fantasia, that's a funky movie. The animation's incredible, but
it's fantastic. It was more of a work, a proof of concept.
Yeah,
it was Walt Disney's like proof of concept. It's like, well, let's really show them what pictures and artistry
talk
and
about
music
trip,
together.
There's
an entire sequence where it's just orchestra over colors.
Right.
Not even like
Fantasia 2000.
It is really good.
Okay,
it is fantastic.
The flamingo is wet your pants funny.
Just
absolutely hysterical.
The flamingo's hilarious.
So
and then Rhapsody in Blue is just a classic. It's so good.
Rhapsody in Blue is incredible.
So
that could have been a short on its own. It would have packed, theaters. Yep. Rhapsody and of course, Rhapsody in Blue might be my favorite piece of
animation
music.
Oh, Rhapsody in Blue music.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. So, Snow White #1, Winnie the Pooh #2, Jungle Book 3, Inside Out, The Incredibles 1 and 2, tied for 5th. And honestly, I could arguably rearrange 2 through 5. Comfortably. Okay. Rearrange 2 through 5 and still be real comfortable with my list.
All right.
Yeah.
And mine starts with Roger Rabbit.
Right.
And then we got the classic Robin Hood, Monsters Inc., anime bias.
Yes.
Of One Piece Film Red.
Right.
And then Kung Fu Panda.
So I'm going to have to take a look at One Piece Film Red. I haven't seen it.
Don't. You want an acid trip? That's an acid trip.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think you'll like that. You won't understand. I'll be honest, not to be that guy. You probably just wouldn't understand what's going on. Because,
Probably not.
Yeah, there's 25 years of storytelling that goes into
Just
these
packed
things.
into one thing.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
kind of, yeah. There's
Yeah,
25 years worth of characters. There's over 1,000 named characters in that series.
Wow.
And yeah, there's I want to say like close to 100 make an appearance in this.
I'm sure there's plumbing
It's
to
just
fix
an
here in the
event.
house.
It's just
or,
an event.
So that is our top 5 favorites each.
Yeah, that is the definitive top 10 for those of you who came back and finished typing up your comments. Yes, definitive top 10 cannot be argued. Deal with it.
Oh, sure. Argue. Go on back down there. Tell us why we're wrong. Give us your list.
Yeah,
Give us
your list. What did we forget? What do we need to watch? I think Prince of Egypt is on there. I've been told it's really good.
Okay.
I've been told it's really good. Heavily told by my wife that it's good.
Things like things that could be up there, good quality movies. Aladdin, the first Aladdin.
Aladdin's really good.
It's a really good movie, but you know what kills stuff like that for me? It's Genie is Robin Williams doing Robin Williams shtick. We've seen that shtick so many times. We've seen it over and over again. But that's a huge...
He was at his height when, like, I didn't get to see Robin Williams on TV, like, ever. I didn't get to really figure out who he was until after he was, like, done and getting out of the industry, and he was calming down. He was getting out of actively working. So, like, I didn't live through that. I didn't get to see him everywhere, and I love his comedy.
What was the... we were talking about Bullet Train. Mm-hmm. And one of the comments I made about Bullet Train was I had no idea that Sandra Bullock was a voice on the phone, right? I love those surprises. I love those...
But you know that Genie is Robin Williams.
But it's a fourth wall break. It's just too much. It would be if... that's one of the reasons why I never wanted to see Jim Carrey's Grinch. It's just Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey shtick. If you've seen Pet Detective, you've seen Jim Carrey.
I don't know. I just like Robin Williams. I don't find Robin Williams as in your face as Jim Carrey.
I much prefer Robin Williams on stage doing stand-up than...
his stand-up was fantastic. His improv was even better.
Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting was incredible. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not. It's very definitely worth watching just to watch his performance. Because when Robin Williams is not doing over-the-top comedy, when he is acting, when he's
a good actor.
Really powerful. Really good stuff. So, yeah. There we go. There was a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
but a short one.
I'll throw up an honorable mention of the original Lion King.
Good movie.
It's just a good movie.
Yep,
it's just a good movie. I don't think I would have put it in my top 5, personally, but I can see why people would. Yeah, it's just a good one.
Lion King.
And it's even more impressive when you realize that it was Disney's B team.
Really?
Their A team was working on Hunchback and Notre Dame.
Gotcha.
And we all see how that turned out. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but let's be honest, Lion King
smoked it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there it is.
All right.
Our top 10.
Thank you very much for tuning in for this one. Leave your comments below. Hit the like and subscribe button.
Yep.
If you would like to see more, and we're going to have to come up with... This is our first top 10 list.
Yeah. Give us ideas for top 10s in the comments below. Let us know what you would like to...
Hear a top 10 list done.
Yeah,
yep.
Sure.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches.
And we'll see you next time. It's recording. And then I've actually been using these as sync up cues.
Really?